Hello friends, welcome to this video. Is that warm enough? Does that make you feel like staying? I basically embarked on a journey that reminded me how much I miss the early 2000s. The early 2000s, or the early aughts as some people have started to call it, and I'm not gonna lie, it's growing on me, just had a different air, a crunchiness in the graphics. I'm talking 2003 to 2009. I remember Capri Sun just hitting different, you know what I'm saying? Hot Cheetos were still sacred. Like, Hot Cheetos are good now, but they used to be currency, baby, you know what I'm saying? The internet for me was exploding. TV, music. I was just starting to really figure out my taste. I didn't have a lot of friends growing up and I didn't really live next to anyone, so I spent a lot of time online. I also watched a lot of TV. So I'm gonna be talking about my favorite shows and my favorite sanctuaries online. Thank you. I went through an increasingly artsy punk phase. I even remember switching my MySpace profile to minimalist. Who can relate? So I know at this time, most people were probably watching SpongeBob, Drake and Josh, The Amanda Show, Hannah Montana, just to name a few. So I'm gonna be talking about some shows that are probably lesser known and a little bit more underground. Let me put you on. Just let me put you on. First thing I'm gonna talk about is The N. Does anyone remember The N? Anyone? So The N was a network that wasn't available on cable or public television. We had The N because my dad had the DirecTV bundle, baby, and had the lesser known channels. The N was basically a network that shared its space with Noggin, which is a children preschool to toddler age. You know, after school, it would switch over to The N and it was aimed at ages 12 to 14. Spicy hours. I was definitely not that age when I started watching, but this network was the network that premiered Degrassi. Everybody remembers Degrassi, come on girl. You wanna talk about tea? Mess. So, The N was a coming of age experience to me. I think I started watching The N truly when I was 7, maybe 6. I remember Degrassi taught me what the word meant, and I remember asking my mom and her being like, what? What? Where did you learn that from? Excuse me? Girl. But yeah, so I was introduced to shows like Instant Star and Daria. Daria is the first show that I'm going to talk about because Daria has a special place in my heart. If you remember this show, you will remember that Daria was that. She was really that girl. Daria premiered March 3rd, 1997. It aired on The N between 2002 to 2006. So Daria was an animation show, a spin-off of Beavis and Butthead. I don't know, I did not watch that show, sorry. But it was an animation show aimed at teen girls. You got me. They got me, because it was totally in my alley at the time. So the show followed Daria in her everyday life. Daria was the complete opposite of the girl next door trope. She was a cynical, sarcastic teenager. Her sister is Quinn. She's like the popular girl in school and tells everyone Daria's her cousin. And her parents were both overbearing and just absent. Her best friend is Jane Lane. They deal with stupid, hollow teenagers in their school and ineffectual teachers. What I love about this show was the writing of Daria. I mean, let's be honest, season 1 was a little rough around the edges, but once they really started to get into characters, I really started to fall in love with the show. Daria was hysterical. I mean, honestly, she had the girlies read to filth. Girlies could not keep up with Daria and her comebacks. Insert some of my favorite comebacks.
Don't worry. I don't have low self-esteem. It's a mistake.
I'll say.
I have low esteem for everyone else. Her writing is bad. Don't people know the difference between good and bad?
She's cute. There are different standards for cute people.
You mean no standards. Sometimes your shallowness is so thorough, it's almost like depth.
Thanks.
I wish I could be that quick with it. Another thing about this show is that they always had really cool references to art and books. Daria references things like One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest and The Bell Jar, and at the time I didn't know what those were, but now looking back, I've read those books and I'm like... And honestly, the intro...
La, la, la. This is my stuff. Got to get off.
Can we look at the material? The intro alone, amazing. Also, the outro credits always featured the most random and beautiful artwork. I've never felt that way about a show where I'm like looking forward to see the credits. Well, this was the first show that's not about a girl trying to get popular or really trying to get the guy. Before that, I don't think I'd ever come across anything so real and honest. Okay, this next show that I'm gonna talk about has a very special place in my heart for a lot of reasons. Okay, this show is Instant Star. Who remembers? Anyone? No? Okay, just me. Great. Instant Star was one of those teen shows that just did it different, okay? It was created by the same people who created Degrassi, but it was not so, like, dramatic. It was based solely on the music. So the show ran between 2004 to 2008. The gist of the show is this girlie, she got this record deal, her career is growing. She had to balance school, her relationship with her sister Sadie, and her friends with her new life as a rookie recording artist. Complicating matters even more, her producer, Tommy Q, former boy band member, Delicious Man, played by Tim Rozone, who's on Schitt's Creek now, if anybody saw him. I was like, what are you doing here? What's that? You trying to talk? And it's basically they fall in love. This whole story is like star-crossed lover kind of thing, so they weren't meant to be. Also, Tommy Q is much older, which was very controversial for its time. He was like, I don't want to say the age because I don't remember, but he was in his 20s and Jude was like 15, 16. So it was kind of creepy. Like now it's unacceptable. Unacceptable. But at the time, I didn't know better. And now I do, but at the time I was like, what's going on? And I know I shouldn't feel this way and I don't condone it, but I did want them to fall in love. And Tommy was like this bad boy from the wrong side of the tracks. You know, he had a history, he had baby mamas. Going on with me. But at the time I was like, I want them to end up together so bad. So my favorite part about this show was the original music.
I wanna lose control, I'm not afraid to lose it all. Let me break.
They produced and released original music. They released like an album for each season, and it was amazing. And one of my favorite episodes, she was shooting a music video with this rapper. That was the first time I had seen like anybody really blend like rock and rap together. The song was Waste My Time. It was like, waste my time, waste my time. And then the rapper dude would be like bumping. Da, 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 da.
I like the way you move your body, and if you fall, I'll be the one that's gonna catch you before you hit the ground.
And I was like, baby, what is this? Cause girl, the girlie did not miss. Jude was that girl. She was cool, you know? She wasn't like one of those girl next door types. Is there a vibe here? There's a vibe here, yes, we understand. One thing I remember about this show, fans were really upset. In the end, they kind of like left it in this weird cliffhanger. They never told you who she ended up with, and that pissed off a lot of people. Regardless, I still love this show and I still miss it. And if they did a reboot, honey, I would be on it. This show had so many good songs. Okay, now I'm falling down a deep dive hole right now with you. Let me bring my laptop here. Oh my god, you guys. They had so many good songs. And when you're like a kid and you're just starting to discover music, I mean, look at the material, the production. Okay. My favorite song of all time was one that she sang with Tommy. I found it. Okay. I don't even know how old I was when this came out. So if this came out in 2004, 2005, I was like, what? I was like 12, probably. I don't know. Oh my god, this song used to be my like...
I've been waiting such a long, long time. Don't you dare change your mind. Don't wander around.
I mean, the girlies had drama. There was drama, there was love, there was good music. So the show didn't end so well, but I can tell you that I still to this day will do a rewatch for sure. And it doesn't really hold up well writing wise, yes. If you can get past the fact that it's like a cheesy teen drama, it still makes for good TV. I've talked about the end, I've talked about the shows, but now let's talk about theend.com. So The End had its own website online, combined videos, graphics, flash games, forums, quizzes, and it was a place for people my age, okay, maybe a little bit older, to hang out. The best thing about The End was that you could create your own avatar, and you could add friends and message your friends privately, and it was a really cool place. There was even this really cool thing that I remember. You could host screening parties, and they'd have like actual like cool movies that you could watch. I mean, the first time I watched Night of the Living Dead was in a screening party on this website, and you could like walk around and like talk to each other, and people would just show up to your screening parties, and it would used to be the spot, girl. Like the spot. I would be on there like late at night, and it was so fun. Spicy Hours. I've actually tried to look them up, but they're not online anymore. I found out though that some people miss them so much that they've created places online to kind of play them on forums and chats. So the first game that I'm gonna talk about on this website was Slasher. So Slasher is basically today's Among Us. Slasher had all of the campy elements of our favorite horror films, and it was a forum style game where you played a camper or a different role at Camp D Cap a lot. Yes, because they were capping. So if you were a slasher, you could talk to your slashers at night, and then you could talk, you know, as a camper or whoever during the day. The point of the game was the same as Among Us. You either all the bad people win or all the good people win. The game was pretty basic for its time. You couldn't really do too much, but one of my favorite parts of this game was the graphics and the animation. I remember even one of the animations in this game kind of looked like me at the time when I had big curly hair. So the reason why I love this game so much was the setup and the forums and chat rooms. I mean, there was something so special about it because I think that was my first real taste of online chatting, and there was just something that felt so illegal about that I really loved. This next game that I'm going to be talking about is called The Hookup. That's right, The Hookup. So basically, you played the new character in town, and the goal of the game was to hook up with somebody in the town. Boy or girl. Kind of a saucier game, especially for my age. This game was actually really cool because you really did have to maneuver social situations with people, and then you also kind of got like a virtual taste of what romance and flirting was. How cringe. The way you gained points, lost points was by having interactions with people in the town, and depending on how well or not well you did, you would either gain or lose points. You would interact with people like the mean girls or like the cute boys that you had a crush on, and it was kind of a saucy game because your goal was to basically like find yourself a little piece. Okay, this game was a little bit more fun, I would say, because you could actually walk around the town. So when I tried to find this game and stuff on the Wayback Machine, I couldn't really find much. Doesn't seem like it's online anymore, but I actually came across a very heartfelt and very sincere petition to bring this game back. And I want to share it with you because only the reals will know. This game has helped me treat people with moral respect and kindness. How your words and actions can affect other people's words and actions. It's taught me not to take anyone for granted because you never know what tomorrow will bring. It's taught me not to hide my sexuality in the darkness, but to be open because I might hurt the one I love. It's taught me to see the hurt behind someone's witty and sarcastic jokes, to recognize and acknowledge that everyone has a story, no matter what their story may look like on the cover. Everyone has a right to own and tell their story. Everyone's story is worthy of being heard. Not everyone is as they appear to be. And with being only 11 years old when first playing this game, it's honestly and most importantly taught me how to deal with bullies and how to stand up for myself and others as well. Oh, and came in super clutch by showing me how to confidently talk to my crushes. I mean, reading that, I was like, girl, we are moved. I am there. She is me. I'm really glad you stumbled across this video if you did, because I don't know if anybody remembers these shows or these games. There's something truly magical and mystifying about the end, especially because it's gone now. They are now Teen Nick. So they've been pretty much scrubbed off the internet. If you try to go on the Wayback Machine to find remnants of this place, you can. There are some snapshots. Very few, but there are some. And it's just a fun reminder of what a different place the internet was. I mean, the only places that I could really get social interaction with other people was on the end.com with my avatar. And it made me feel less alone, a lot cooler, and overall bad. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you for watching this video, and stick around for the next one, maybe? If there is a next one. No, there will be. Just kidding. Thank you. Bye!